Salim says to Qutb that Jalal has ordered me to work under Murad. I didn't like it. Is he not confident about my skills in war? Qutb says if has done this then there must be reason behind it. They come in market. Salim finds Anarkali buying things in market. He smiles seeing her, he grabs her from behind and hides her. She is stunned to see him and smiles a little. They share eye lock. She says you shouldn't have come here. I need to go. He grabs her and says I didn't come to meet you. But fate wants us to meet. I didn't see your face so fate made me meet you. Why did you write to forget you? I can't forget you. The day I forget you, I will die. She stops him and says don't create problems for me. Salim says my problem is that I love you and I can't do anything. She says I liked it that you went to meet Joda. He asks how do you know? Anar says I know everything about you as I care for you. He says I liked it that you keep eye on me, you care for me. She smiles shyly and is about to leave but he pushes her closer and says let me see you before going. Please. She turns and looks at him. He smiles. Jalal says to Joda that I will soon leave and then I will not spend time with you. Joda says you will soon return after winning. Jalal holds her hand and says I have done wars which I knew I was right. Joda says don't worry, God is with them who are on right path. I am sure that you will win this war. Jalal says this war is your test too. She asks how? Jalal says when I go to war, I want you to take charge of here. You have to take decisions. Like me. You have to do justice. Joda says I will be responsible. Jalal says if a problem comes where you can't take decision then you have to be strong and take tough decision. When I am in war, I want you to take care of my nation. I am on right path. Problems will come but I will overcome them and win. Murad is discussing how they will go in war. Murad says we should go in boats. Salim says we should by walk. Murad says then our soldiers will get tired, we should go on camels. Murad says I am responsible to think about all this. Salim asks how many wars did you do? I know more than you. Murad says but I have faith on my soldiers. Salim says I have grown up with those soldiers. Ask them if I am right or wrong. Murad says I will make my own force, who will fight according to me. Salim says you don't know anything about war. Don't know how Jalal made you captain. Murad says enough. You have to work under me and have to follow my orders. Murad grabs him by shoulder and says I know how to make you follow my orders. Salim angrily looks at him and pushes him away. Murad attacks him. They holds each other's collars. Daniel asks them to stop it. Salim says you crossed the limits. Jalal comes there and pushes them away. He asks what you guys were doing. He gives sword to them and says kill each other. He says I am stunned that you both are my sons. If you fight with each other then who will fight with enemies? My enemies will win without doing anything. How can you forget that they have cast evil eye on our family and we have to answer them? Murad says I am sorry Salim. He asks them to leave. Both leaves. Hamida comes there and is tensed. Jalal is worried. Hamida is sadly sitting in her room. Fufi comes to her and asks what are you doing here? See weather. It seems storm is going to come. Hamida says I want to stop this storm. She tell Fufi something to stop war. Muted. Vouche over says Hamida was trying to stop war. And her try will bring another storm. Joda is praying to Kana. Hamida comes and saves Dia. Joda greets her and says you are an example for you praying to God and Kana is same. Hamida says you are right. I want to ask something. Joda asks what? Hamida says you said that praying to God and Kana is same? You agree to it? Joda says yes. Hamida says maybe I am asking you a lot but it's important. I want you to change your religion, accept Islam. Joda is stunned. she says Imogen, you are saying this? You stopped me from doing this. Hamida says your Imogen stopped you, but today Mariam Makani is asking you to change it. I have responsibility to bind my family, and today my family is breaking. Brothers are fighting. Father and son are fighting. Our relation with Iran is also changing. Many would die in this war. With this one decision of yours, everything will be fine. Please accept Islam. Joda says, but what Jalal will say? Hamida says he will get miffed with you and me, but think that by changing your religion, everything will be fine. Salim will get thrown. Kanem relation will be made again. We will have good relations with Iran. People will not die. You mother is asking for something for first time in life. She asked Joda to save her family. I am folding my hands in front of you. Joda says your hands are to give blessing only, not to beg. She kisses her hands and cries. She looks at Kana and says, don't worry Imogen, I will accept Islam. Hamida hugs her. Hamida says, I knew it, you will not disappoint me. She says, I will prepare for this ceremony. Don't tell this to anyone. She leaves. Joda is in tears. Daniel comes to Salim and says, I want to talk to you. Salim says, you came to taunt me too? Daniel says, I just want to say that Murad is not wrong. He never wanted to become next king, but you insulted him. You have started all this. Salim says, what you both did? Did you forget that I am your elder brother? I can show my anger to you people, but one crown made him so much arrogant that he forgot I am his brother. He says, I am not hurt that he is next king. I am hurt that you both forgot our relation. Daniel says, you have forgotten relations. You forgot that you were going to marry Manbai and you were meeting that dancer. I saw you in market too. Salim says it was coincidence that she was in market and I came there and I couldn't stop myself but to meet her. Daniel says, what about man? Salim says, I want to tell you that I like Anarkali only. I know you are man's friend, so worried, but I am in love with Anar and I can't stop myself but to meet her. You can complain to Jalal. He leaves. Jalal comes to Joda and says, I came to listen bhajan in your melodious voice. Will you do bhajan? Joda thinks that I will sing bhajan for last time. Joda sings bhajan in tears. She cries. Jalal hugs her and asks what happened. Joda says, when I sing this bhajan, I get emotional. In night, Joda is sadly sitting in her room. Moti comes there with dress for her. She asks Joda, why are you doing this? Joda says, if by changing my religion, I can save people, then let me change it. I gave birth to Salim. His right should not be snatched. I have to see that, as mother and as Queen of India, I am taking this step. She cries, goes to Kana and says it's same if singing bhajan or listening to Azan. We pray to God from heart. There is no difference between Quran and Gita. Feeling is same. She asked Kahan to give her strength to follow her decision. You have said that to do good and not think about reward. If you think I am not doing good, then forgive me please, but for my son and for my people, I will take this step. Joda is dressed as Muslim girl. She looks at Jalal talking with Murad. She recalls how Hamida pleaded her to accept Islam. Joda comes to Hamida. Hamida says to her that what you are going to do, everyone's happiness lies in there. Joda leaves with her in palanquin. Joda and Hamida come to priest of Islam. Priest asks Joda, are you here with your consent? Joda says yes. He asks, were you forced to be here? Hamida says, I have brought her with her consent. Priest says, but I have to know from her. He asks Joda, were you forced? Joda says no. He says, now we will make you accept Islam. He recites some holy verses. Kalma. He again asks Joda, will you accept Allah as your God with your consent? Will you accept Allah and His Prophet? You cannot lie here. He asked Joda to answer. Do you accept to be Muslim? He asked her to recite Kalma. Joda recalls how Jalal said to her that don't accept Islam ever in pressure, it will be disrespect to Islam. Me and my nation. Joda thinks I have understood Jalal, I will not get forced. And will not change my religion. Priest ask her to recite Kalma, holy lines of Islam, if she accept Islam without force. Joda thinks and gets up. Hamida ask her to recite. Joda says I will not recite Kalma as it will be disgrace to Islam. My Kana may forgive me but I won't be able to forgive myself. She says to priest that I am in pressure of Iran. Hamida says thinks about Salim and Jalal. Joda says I accept I have responsibility as mother but I am a wife too. I can't deceive Jalal by doing this. I have got family because of Jalal, then how can I go against him and accept Islam? Khanum should not marry in family where they force people to change religion. By changing my religion, will their thinking change? No? For you, me and Jalal, praying to any god is same but then why should I change religion for King of Iran? I respect Islam as much as I respect being Hindu but I will not change religion. I will be standing beside Jalal in thick and thin but will not change religion. Hamida says I have rights on you. I am Mariam Makani and I order you to accept Islam. Priest says to Hamida that you are forcing her and this is a great sin. I won't tolerate this. Joda says forgive me Ami. Hamida says I asked you for a thing for first time and you disappointed me. She leaves. Joda is tensed. Joda comes to her room. She looks at herself in mirror. She cries. Moti comes there and says I told you it will be difficult to change religion. You have prayed to one God for years so how can you change it? Joda says I didn't change religion. Jalal is fighting for me and for rule of Islam so my acceptance of Islam would have hurt Jalal. It would be deceiving Jalal and Islam just to accept it for Salim and Hamida. Moti says you did right. Joda says but Hamida, for first time I didn't listen to her. I have hurt her. She not only called me daughter but has treated me like her daughter. She is miffed with me. Moti says your relation with her is strong. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. In morning, Joda is doing Tulsi Puja. She says Tulsi Mata first time I have not listened to my mother Hamida. I have disappointed her. Forgive me. Jalal is passing by there and finds Joda praying. He smiles looking at her. Joda starts leaving. Hamida comes there. Joda greets her and asks her to take Arti. Hamida takes Arti and leaves from there angrily. Jalal notices the tension. Moti says to Joda that she will take time to understand. Joda says I don't know how to make her understand. Jalal says why Hamida didn't talk to Joda. This never happened that Joda greeted Hamida and she didn't answer it back. Something is wrong. Joda is sitting in her room. Jalal comes there and says I am angry with you. You disappointed Hamida. Joda is stunned and says I am sorry. I didn't want to hurt her. Jalal smiles and says you are afraid. I am saying you greeted her and she didn't answer you back. Joda thinks he doesn't know anything. She says it is matter for daughter and mother. We will solve it. You don't worry. Jalal says okay. If she doesn't understand your thinking then tell me. I will explain her. Joda says it will not be needed. Jalal says I know as she loves you a lot. He leaves. Joda says I have to talk to her before Jalal gets to know anything.